But if I had to venture a guess, I would say 2 or 3 years, because they want, as far as they're concerned, for their opportunities to be perfect. And so, we've got that coming, I think.
Hold that thought, Bob. We'll be back in just a moment here. Well, this is Dr. Stan. Our guest, of course, is Bob Chapman from the International Forecaster, and we're talking about what's going on financially. Bob thinks that certainly they're going to promote another war to get our attention off the failed policies of the current administration, the last administration that led to this whole crisis. This is my contention. This whole thing was intentionally created, and if you haven't seen my talk on the financial Armageddon, you need to see it and understand everything was long-range planning, and everything seems to be following a timetable, and of course, things are not going to get better. They're going to tell you they're getting better, but they're not making any new jobs other than government jobs. And even that, with all the people are hiring by the government, we still had well over 350,000, perhaps even as many 500,000 people lost their jobs last month because they lie about the statistics. The official Bureau of Labor Statistic unemployment is about, 9.4 now, Bob?
Yes, that's right.
But
of course, it's not so. It's the U6 is, their official U6 is 16.4. I think it's 20.4, and I think it's going to get more drastic before the year's out. Maybe 25%, maybe even more, and the following year will probably go sideways, and after that, I think we'll see 35-40%.
And, of course, the following year, talking about 2010, that's simply because of all the money that they're going to be putting out through the stimulus package and the Obama budget. $3.5 trillion in that budget. And then, of course, that's just the beginning of all the money they're going to put out to remake the energy system and to socialize medicine. There's just no way that you can offer health care to every American and really not, of course, take us down the same track that all other countries have gone that have gone into a socialized medical system. And the only thing they can do is ration access to health care and kill off the elderly people. That's what they're planning on doing. In fact, there's Mitch McConnell, actually, who's one of the Senate leaders, has actually said the Obama program is a program for rationing access to health care, but they have to sell it to the American people as, oh my goodness, this is so everybody will have medical care. Yeah, except we're going to deprive certain people of medical care, and they're going to tell you how economical it's going to be. That's what they told the doctors when they brought in Medicare. Oh, usual and customary fee, nothing to worry about. The hospitals are all going to make money. The doctors are all going to make money. Well, let me tell you, the doctors are making about a third as much today, proportional as they did in 1965 when Medicare came in. But they're not telling you that. Go right ahead, Bob.
Yeah, they're going to make the healthy people pay much higher premiums in order to subsidize the older.
Go ahead, Bob. Bob, did we lose?
Patients.
Okay, go ahead.
More costly patients will be subsidized as well as the old to some extent by the young, but the young are going to pay terrifically higher premiums, even though it's not justified. This is to crush the system, and that they will. They've done that in England and Canada, and of course there's a lot of argument about that. But if you have small things wrong with you, it's not a problem. But if you have difficult operations, you may die waiting to get operated on. And so most people who have the money, they leave Canada and go to the United States to get operated, or they go to India or Germany or Mexico, all popular destinations for people. And, an open heart operation, I should say a bypass, ranges, I think, what is it, $75,000 to $150,000?
Probably. Probably, yeah.
Yeah, well, you can get them done in any of the places I've mentioned, including all the other costs for under $20,000.
But of course, the thing is that the government, doesn't pay that amount of money. The government refuses to pay the hospitals, refuses to pay the doctors. The doctor may bill $10,000. He'll be lucky to get $1,000 to $1,500 for the open heart surgery. And this is how they do it. And then, of course, if you don't have insurance, they will bill you the whole $150,000, and you're really stuck. But the government is not paying what it costs, even what it is actually costing the hospitals to provide open heart surgery. And this is all really a scam. In Massachusetts, why Governor Romney, when he was in Massachusetts, brought a socialized medical system in 2006. In 2009, if you want a routine physical examination from your doctor, you go to any doctor you want to, and it's all covered by the government. But it'll take you a year and a half to get a routine physical examination. The socialized medical system they brought in Massachusetts is bankrupting the state. But you will never read that in the media. And maybe you can go up on the internet, get some articles on it. We have some articles on it. And it's been a disaster as far as the doctors are concerned. The doctors are leaving Massachusetts in droves because they cut their income. And of course, they can't possibly survive, but it's free. Isn't it wonderful? It's free. The only trouble is you can't get health care there. It's a year and a half to get a routine physical examination. Well, Bob, let's talk about what's happening here in the United States. Let's talk about what happened to gold and silver, because even though we know many of the major hedge funds, like John Paulson's hedge fund, is investing up to $5 billion perhaps half of it in gold stocks, the other half in actual gold, buying gold. And with that pressure on the market, you'd expect the price would go up, and yet it's dropped and dropped dramatically. What in heaven's name is going on? Don't we have a supply and demand system that determines the price?
Well, no, we don't. And the reason why is that on the commercial market, the COMEX, which are the futures, the members of what they call the commercial group, which are the market makers, they're working with the government. And they build up these big short positions like they have presently, and then they deliberately drive the price down, the whole bunch of them. And they'll drive it down just to keep it from going someplace. And just recently, gold was trading intraday around 970, and they come in and started pounding it. And today, just as an example, just 4 or 5 days later, gold was off 1270 and closed at 926.60, off like $40 from where it was just a few days ago. Now, the good thing about shorts is that sometime they got to buy, because they already sold us the commodity, in this case gold, that they don't own. And they're supposed to own a certain percentage, but they don't. The rules are broken all the time. And this is complicated for them by the fact that so many people have taken delivery of the gold contracts. It used to be less than 1%. Now it's running anywhere between 16 and 30%. And at that rate, they can't last very long either. Someone's got to lend them gold, and I don't think there's a lot of gold out there to be lent. And so these people are going to have to buy back their gold positions in order to make a profit and close out. And I think that's going to happen very shortly. I think gold will be up $6 or more tomorrow, and silver probably will be up 20 cents or more, and you'll start to see short covering. The explanation for Dr. Stan as to why the gold market isn't performing better is that our government is manipulating it under the Working Group of Financial Markets, and that is something that was created by an executive order some years ago. And they do it every day, but it's not only gold and silver, it's commodities. I mean, you've seen the price of oil, which Dr. Stan talked about. It's rigged. The markets are rigged.
And of course, I think people have to understand there is no oil shortage. There are all sorts of oil tankers that's just sitting there packed full of oil, and nobody's buying it. Why? Because they want to drive the price up. They want to create the current crisis that's going to be coming, but they can't tell the American people that everything is rigged through the commodity markets, and the government, of course, is going right along with us. Well, it's the invisible government. It's not the regular government, the responsible government, the government we elect, but the invisible government that really runs the thing. And the great tragedy is they're going to keep driving the price of oil up. I don't know how high it's going to go, but it's going to have a profound impact on our economy. It's going to, of course, enrich the oil companies, who Exxon and Chevron and of course, Royal Dutch Shell and British Petroleum, and they're all already owned by this elite group, ties into the Trilateral Commission, the Bilderbergers, and the Council on Foreign Relations, what I call the Brotherhood of Darkness.